What's up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right, y'all. So today we got another video for our Flex drivers. So maybe you've seen some of my other videos about Amazon Flex, and you've been thinking, you know what? I think it's time. So today I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips that you should know before starting Amazon Flex. Starting off with number 1, choosing the right block. Now, Amazon Flex is not just package delivery. You have grocery delivery through Amazon Fresh, Whole Foods, and they also have the opportunity for you to do retail deliveries. Now, personally, I haven't had the opportunity to do retail deliveries, but I can assume that it's gonna be fairly similar to the other types. You're just gonna be picking up merchandise and delivering it. Now, like I said, since I haven't done it, I don't know all the specifics to it, so you guys are welcome to do research on that if retail is something that you're interested in. Now, for package delivery is probably the most common block on Amazon Flex. Now, the warehouse that I work out of, it's same day delivery. So any orders that are put in for same day delivery, those are the ones that I'm picking up. Those are the ones that I'm picking up and I'm delivering. They do also have the warehouses, which are your standard Amazon package delivery. So you do have the option to do those deliveries as well, depending on what warehouse is available in your market. Now, for the grocery delivery, I did Amazon Fresh. And I came in there honestly with the mindset of someone that has done package delivery, which is what I've done in the past, and it completely caught me off guard. Now, when I first got the route and I was like, oh, look, I'm only gonna have to do, I think it was like 5 or 6 deliveries. I'm like, because I think it was only an hour and a half block. So I'm like, I'm gonna knock this out in like 30, maybe 45 minutes, right? And no, it almost took me like 30 minutes just to load my car with all the groceries because there were so many bags. I literally had bags filled up to the brim in my trunk, to the brim in my back seat, and in my front seat. I tried to go ahead and organize it as best I could, but like I said, coming in there with that package delivery mindset, that was the wrong thing to do. Because like I said, even though I only had a small number of stops, the amount of bags I had, like there was one order, somebody had like 2 cases of water and a good like 12 to 13 bags. And these are those paper bags, and they were filled to the brim. You don't get to load up the stuff. They just give you all the bags, and it's like, all right, you got 12, 13, 14, however many items for this stop, and you just got to go ahead and organize it. So yeah, it was something. It was something. So I definitely needed my wagon to go ahead and transport all that stuff, and we'll get into the equipment later. But yeah, you definitely need to go ahead and come into grocery delivery with a completely different mindset than package delivery, because that completely caught me off guard. It completely caught me off guard. Now, the good thing about the grocery delivery, you do have the option to get tips. I honestly, in that one grocery delivery that I did, I probably made more than I have on a package delivery, and that's with Surge Pay. If I remember correctly, I think I got paid a good like $60 something for that, and that's within an hour and a half. So you can do the math. It honestly was very worth it. But like I said, personally, I probably wouldn't do it unless the grocery store is in an area where I know I have a low chance of getting placed into a bad neighborhood for delivery. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you get for pay as far as the package delivery, that's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get tips, but like I said, for grocery delivery, you do have the option to get tips. So if you want to take that chance and, you know, see if you can get a little bit extra pay compared to what they're listing, you might want to go ahead and go with that grocery delivery. All right, moving on to tip number 2, making sure you have the proper equipment. So like I mentioned with those fresh deliveries, that grocery delivery, I had to make sure I had my wagon. So yes, you need to make sure you have the proper equipment depending on which block you're deciding to pick up. Yes, for grocery delivery, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need something that allows you to transport multiple bags to a single location. So having a wagon or having a cart, you know, something along the lines of that allows you to carry multiple items, that's definitely needed. Now, if you're doing package delivery, to be honest, most of the time the packages, they're just going to be these small envelopes or a small box. You can just carry it in one hand. But every now and then you might get that super large box, and maybe you need a dolly, maybe you need a cart, maybe you don't. And sometimes you may just not need any equipment at all, and that's perfectly fine. But what you will need as a flex driver, you're going to need a vest, which you can go ahead and pick up from the warehouse itself, or you could order a generic vest, whichever works for you, because sometimes they don't have those vests because my first, I think 2 or 3 blocks that I did on Amazon, they were completely out of vests. So I eventually got it from the warehouse, but sometimes they run out. The other thing I would suggest is just getting some type of identifier on your vehicle. I learned this pretty quickly when I had to go ahead and do the downtown routes. You ain't gonna have a place to park in some locations, especially downtown. So if you have an identifier on your car showing that you're a delivery driver and not just some random person, you might be able to deter the cops or, you know, somebody that's giving out parking tickets. So now, am I saying that it's 100% foolproof? You're not gonna get a ticket? No, but it is still better than just having your bare naked car out there double parking or parking in a place you're not supposed to park. So I use these magnets. I just put them on the side of the car. I have them on my driver's side and on my passenger side. And like I said, that just lets people know that, hey, I'm an Amazon delivery driver. So, you know, just identifying yourself. And like I said, that's just so you can hopefully not run into any issues. All right, moving on to number 3, loading your vehicle. Now, loading your packages, it might seem self-explanatory, but trust me when I say you have to have a method to loading your car. Y'all probably tired of me telling this story, but I'm gonna tell it again. My very first day when I did Amazon Flex, I just threw all my packages in my trunk, didn't think about nothing, and just went about my day, right? And I got to my first stop, and I was digging through my trunk trying to find this package. And remember what I said earlier, my first few Amazon blocks, I didn't have the vest because the warehouse didn't have it. So I'm just this random person with a hoodie and some locks. I'm just digging through the trunk of this car, right? And some lady across the street, she came outside asking, you know, did I need help? Did I belong where I belong? And all of this stuff. And, you know, the type of neighborhood that I was in, you know, it wasn't a lot of folks that looked like me. So, you know, I probably looked a little suspicious to some folks, right? Now, I eventually found that package, but my route was very, very long because every single stop I had to open up my trunk and I dig through every single package trying to find a package that belonged to that house. So you have to have some type of organization. It doesn't matter which method you decide to choose. If you want to use the marker method, if you want to sort by stop. Some people, they sort by package type where they put all the envelopes in the front, they put the boxes in the back. You just have to do whatever works for you, because the last thing you want to do is just be standing outside of somebody's house and you just digging through your car. It's just not a good look, especially if you don't have any identifiers on yourself or on your car. So make sure that you take the time, whether it takes 10, 15, even 30 minutes to get everything organized in a way that works for you. Please take that time to do that at the station before you drive off. Trust me, I promise you, it's going to save you so much time when you're doing a delivery. So for myself, I sort by stop. So everything that's going to be at that end of the route is going to be in the back, in my trunk, or in the back seat, depending on how many packages I have. And usually the first 10 or 15, they're going to be here in my front seat. So when I pull up to that first stop, that package is right here for me. I just have to grab it, scan it, boom, get out the car, drop it off, take the picture, move on to the next. The next stop is right there behind it. So I just grab that package, boom, and it's just an assembly line. It's just an assembly line. And then as the packages in my front seat start to get low, I just go to the back, pull the next set, put them in order, put them here in my front seat, and I'll move on to the next. So yes, taking that time out to organize everything in the beginning, it's gonna save you so much time. It will save you so much time, I promise you. All right, moving on to tip number 4, navigation. The navigation system on this Amazon Flex app, whew, I can't even say it's seen better days, because I don't remember a day where it's ever been better. It just does what it wants to do. So look, let me tell y'all, do not rely on the GPS feature on the Amazon Flex app, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense where they're trying to send you. Like, I can give you a couple examples right now. Sometimes if I happen to go get sent downtown for a downtown route, I know how to navigate downtown. So I hop on the expressway and I just go. It's a straight shot down. But for whatever reason, the GPS tells you to get off on every exit and then get back on. Get off to get back on. Get off to get back on. Why it tells you that, I don't know. I really don't know. And I ignore it. I'm just going straight down because I'm gonna waste more time just getting off every exit and going. Like, it doesn't make sense. And unfortunately, I did do that one case where I went to Indiana for the first time, and I didn't know how to navigate to Indiana. I don't go to Indiana like that. So the first time I went to Indiana, it was like, all right, go ahead and get on this toll right here. I'm like, bet. So I'm going down, doing my thing, and it's like, all right, here's your exit, get off here. So I'm thinking, maybe it takes me to another expressway because, sometimes that's what happens, right? So I get off just for it to tell me to get back on. And I ended up having to pay for an extra toll because you get charged for that toll when you get off the expressway. So I got off just to get back on. And I think it was just like $1. I had my iPass, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But, imagine you constantly doing that where you don't know where you're going and you're going down a toll and it tells you get off to get back on, get off to get back on. My favorite is when you have to make a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn. Let's just say a right-hand turn for purposes of this example. You have to make a right-hand turn and there's nothing stopping you from turning right. There is a right turn lane. But instead of the GPS directing you to go into that right turn lane to turn right, it'll tell you to turn left, then go up the block, come back around, turn around, go down a couple other blocks, and then come back to that same street just to go across. So you're essentially doing a loop just to go this way when all you have to do is you go up, boom, turn. So no, it tells you do this, and then you can go. Where I don't understand where the programming for this application went wrong. It's something. So if you're familiar with the area, sometimes you honestly might just have to ignore the GPS and go the best route that you think is best. And other cases, you might just have to open up your Google Maps or maybe Waze or, whatever GPS application you prefer to use and just type in that address and go from there. Because to be honest, that GPS be sending you off. And sometimes they do try to route you in a way so, you're going in the same direction of where you need to go so you can go to your next stop. I get that. But some of the stuff that it tells you to do beforehand, it just doesn't make sense. It literally just doesn't make sense. So use your discretion and go the route that works best for you. And, just be on the lookout because the last thing you want to do is get charged extra for tolls over and over and over again and waste gas and waste time. So just keep an eye out on that navigation. All right, and last but not least, tip number 5, we gotta talk about your safety. Now, here's the thing about doing Amazon Flex. Nobody really thinks like, I'm in danger when I'm delivering packages, but you'll be surprised. People will try to rob you if you have packages in your car. I've literally seen news articles where the UPS driver got robbed. There was an Amazon driver that got robbed a few blocks from me. People out here just crazy. People are legit out here. They just crazy. So you have to go ahead and do what you can to protect yourself. All right. So depending on your state where you live, maybe you want to carry, maybe you want to have pepper spray or, keep something on you where, you can swing and, whatever. But, do whatever you need to do to protect yourself. I'm not saying that every single time you go out, something's going to happen. But nobody goes out thinking that something bad is going to happen to them. You just have to be prepared just in case. So always have something on you to protect yourself and, just simply be aware of your surroundings. Now, the thing about Flex is you don't have control over your route. You don't know where you're going to go until you get to that warehouse. So there have been plenty of times where I got to the warehouse and I'm like, you know what? It'll be great if I got something local to the warehouse. I can be in and out. I know the area, all of that, right? But it takes me downtown or it takes me into Indiana or it takes me into South Shore. And if you're from the Chicago area, yeah, that ain't the best. There was one route where it had me, I think, in like the Hyde Park area, and then for some reason it took me all the way out to South Shore. It was like my last 4 or 5 packages that I had to do, and I literally had to keep my head on a swivel because those areas aren't the best. They really aren't. So you literally never know where you're gonna go. If I remember correctly, they said that they can send you anywhere within an hour driving distance from from that pickup location. So that's quite a bit of radius. So 40, 50 miles, maybe even more. So keep that in mind. Now, could you technically forfeit that block? I mean, you could, but that's gonna count against you because you're literally giving up a route like at the beginning. And I don't know how many of those they allow you to do. So just, you know, if you're just not willing to take that risk and you're gonna wanna go ahead and turn down every single route that they give you, you might as well not even get on the platform because, you know, like I said, it's a downside of it. It's just, you don't have control over where you go. And I've seen some people post videos talking about how you can choose your route and all of this. And to be quite honest, unless you know somebody at the warehouse, I don't know if the employees have any control over placing the routes on the drivers. I don't know anybody up there. But, you know, honestly, if somebody tells you they know how they can, you know, give you the best routes or the routes that you want to get, you know, take it with a grain of salt because I think it's completely random, to be quite honest. I've seen some people say if you come too early, you might get a route that's less than ideal. So you should come right when that grace period starts because you have a 5-minute grace period to get logged in and checked in before you forfeit your block for being late. So some people say if you come during your grace period, so even if you come early, don't check in, wait till your grace period starts and you can go ahead and get a better route that's like closer to the warehouse or something like that. You know, all of that stuff, it doesn't even make sense to me. I honestly find that all of that is honestly just BS. All of this stuff is random, to be quite honest. The routes are randomly generated, you know, depending on what type of orders they get in. So, you know, especially for like the same day orders and even the grocery orders, you know, those are coming in literally the same day. So it's going to put together a route depending on what orders are coming in. You know, there's no changing if you're going to get the downtown route or this route out here in the suburbs or whatever. It just depends on what people are ordering. You know, that's really all it is, at least the way I see it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. but the main thing, like I said, just being safe out there and being wary of your surroundings. Like I said, if you get into an area that's less than ideal, even if it is a nice neighborhood, it's crazy people out there too. You never know. So making sure that, you know, you have something on yourself to protect yourself. And if you're doing those night routes, you know, kudos to y'all, because I cannot be out here in no dark because depending on where you go, they ain't got street lights. Some of the houses ain't got no lights, so you can't tell if you at the right house and all of that. You know, I've seen some folks wear headlamps so they can identify where they're going and all of that. You know, do that if you need to, but you know, just be careful out there. That's really all I can say. Be careful out there and be wary of your surroundings and all of that. That's pretty much it, y'all. So yeah, guys, this is more or less like a basic tips and tricks for Amazon Flex. If you guys want me to give you some more tips about Amazon Flex, let me know in the comments. But hopefully this is enough information to help somebody that might want to go ahead and get into Flex. And maybe you're not really sure about it. But like I said, hopefully this helps you decide whether or not Amazon Flex is for you. Now, before I go, guys, make sure you guys either like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.